Hello and welcome to Chengdu, third leg of the 2013 Modern Pentathlon World Cup Series. And the women's individual event, the men's individual event, won by Ukrainians, Buryak and Dmitry Timoshenko. Now it's the time for the mixed competition, featuring 15 countries. We'll start with the fencing. A British duo of Kate French and Sam Curry. Finished 8th overall after the fencing. Curry didn't compete in the men's individual event. Really have come on strong in modern pentathlon over the last few years. A number of very promising youngsters. Win there for Curry. Finished with a record of 28 wins and 28 losses overall. A total of 824 points. German duo, Janine Kollmann and Alexander Nobis. A fencing result for them. Third overall with 34 victories and 22 losses. Fencers 1 minute to try and get the necessary hit, which will bring them victory. Neither opponent managed to get a hit during that time. No point to score. Yeah! Well, up next were the Hungarians. For them, Christina Cech and Gergely Demeter. Second overall after the fencing. 6 victories, 20 defeats. Hungarians are always very strong in the modern pentathlon, especially in the fencing discipline. Over the years, Hungarians won the mixed event in the first World Cup event in Palm Springs back in February. They're well positioned after the first event here in Chengdu. Plenty of smiles. Let's really enjoy this mixed event. More relaxed for the individuals. Well, what a championship this has been for Ukraine. And Buryak winning the women's event. Timoshenko the men's. Neither of those two are competing on Sunday. Turn of Irina Haklova and Dmitry Polyansky. They were 5th after the fencing with a record of 31 victories and 25 losses. It has been a great World Cup season for Ukraine. These 2 victories here in Chengdu. Victoria Timoshenko in Palm Springs. Was the Belarusian pair of Anna Silyonak and Roman Pinchuk. Overall, after the first event, with 34 victories and 22 defeats. Pinchuk didn't make it through qualifying in the men's individual events. overall. Patriot. Anna Siomak. Finished 17th overall. The women's individual event. Well, there's the Russian pairing leading after the first event. Rakhmatinova and Sergei Karyakin. 2 victories and 16 defeats for them. Grand total 1,016 points. Well, Karyakin, he was leading the men's individual event going into the riding, but had a very disappointing round. Really left him far too much to do going into the combined. Dinova, she finished 7th overall. Women's event. Very strong, as always, in the modern pentathlon. They won the mixed event in Rio de Janeiro, so just confirmation of the standings after the fencing. On top, by Hungary and Germany, Ukraine in 5th. Still a long way to go in this competition. So it's off to the swimming pool. Second event. We can pick up the action with the fast heat. Hungary, China there, and the Russians. Fencing. Alisa Fakhruddinova and Sergei Karyakin. So the Russians always looking to try and extend their lead. It was the Chinese pair who would eventually come out on top. Yufei Bian, Jai Hao Han. Actually won silver medal at the Asian Championships. Big victory in the end for the Chinese. It was the Koreans who had come in second. Nina Yeong, 20 years of age, and Jinhua Jung, 10th in the men's event. 16th of the men's event, I should say. And the Russians, Fakhruddinova and Karyakin.
I'm very happy for results, fencing and swimming, because yesterday I have individual final competition, but main event coming up.
So just confirmation of the results again after the second event. Fakhruddinova and Karyakin. Quite a lead over the nearest competitors, and Demeter. Chinese moving up the table after their victory in the swimming. We move on to the riding. Well, things can change dramatically in the riding. Go back to Palm Springs. The Russians were again doing very well. Ilya Frolov had pretty much of a nightmare on his horse, where had a number of refusals. Was completely unable to control the horse.
四川电视台，观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎您收看我们为您转播的2013现代五项世界杯成都站的比赛。那么今天我们为您转播的是男女混合的决赛。在今天的转播当中，我们继续邀请到了。
So they can pick up the action with the Korean duo of Mina Yeong and Jinhua Jung. It will be Mina Yeong to go first. Still in the infancy, really, of her career. Just 20 years of age. So compatriot Jinhua Jung, as Mina Yeong just gets ready to take to the course. trouble early on, getting control of the horse. She's underway. Plenty of height on the jump. Good ride so far. First knockdown for the Koreans. Changes to the course from the individual event. She hands over to her partner. Young was excellent in the riding in the men's individual. Just 2 knockdowns for him. It was a very difficult course. He's 3rd overall after the riding. Put him into 1st place going into the combined, but unfortunately for him, had a few problems. That's a very good clearance. Didn't have the greatest approaches there. Very good ride so far. Young. So just 2 knockdowns for the Korean pair. Be pleased with that ride. Young, he was positioned first going to the combine, but had a few problems at the shooting range. And in the end, wasn't able to build on his advantage. So finishing 16th place overall. Next is the Belarusian pair. Anna Vasilyonak and Roman Pinchuk. There's Anna Vasilyonak. Sixth overall. 3rd in the fencing. Swim. They were 10th overall. Competed at the World Cup final last year in Chengdu, where she finished 25th overall in the women's individual event. Also completed the London Olympics. Going home in 32nd place. Got to the final here, the women's individual as well. She finished 17th. Get onto the podium in World Cup events, Major Championships. Recently, her best result has been 6th in last year's European Championships in Sofia, Bulgaria, where she was part of the relay team. A cloudy, overcast day today. Yesterday was glorious sunshine. We witnessed pretty strong winds. It's been very hot in Sichuan province recently. Ready to go. So Anna Vasilyonak to go first. Steady start so far. Plenty of height on the clearance. Stutters into the fence slightly, but covering well. So far. Just clips that rail, so first knockdown for the Belarusian team. Anna Romantinchuk. Knockdown. Knockdown so far for Belarus. Good flat railing, but it stays on. Course completed.
Score report. Team Belarus.
2 knockdowns overall. Roman Pinchuk. It's on the infancy of his career, really. Didn't make it through qualifying in the men's individual events. He was 8th in the World Junior Championships back in 2011 in Buenos Aires. Also didn't make it through qualifying in last year's World European Championships in Bulgaria. The next to go will be the Germans, Henning Kohlmann and Alexander Nobis. Henning Kohlmann. He was 9th here in Chengdu in the women's event. Also competed in last year's World Cup final at this very course. Eventually finished in 14th. Very active this season. Palm Springs, first World Cup event. 18th. The Germans in contention. 3rd after the fencing. 34 victories and 22 defeats. Finished 8th in the swimming overall. As Coleman gets the Germans underway. All the Germans underway. As the bell goes. Nobis just keeping one of the railings, but stays on. Right so far. Rider going first. Good ride by Nobis, who goes clear. Over to Coleman. Really good ride so far by the Germans. And very confident. Good clearance, good height. First knockdown, second. Not really going to plan after such a good start. So Raymond stays on.
Okay, Johnny.
To be going so well, but sounds for Coleman. 120 penalty points overall. It's Germany down to 7th at the moment. Behind Belarus and Korea. Next are the Ukrainians. It's been a really excellent World Cup season for them so far. Victoria Tereshchuk winning the women's individual event in Palm Springs. And they followed up that success with Anna Buryak winning here in Chengdu in the women's event. Her first ever top of the podium finish. Dmitry Timoshenko winning the men's event. Well, competing for them today is Irina Hakhlova and Dmitry Polyansky. Here's Polyansky. It's a bit disappointing in the riding. Finished 28th overall. It's a number of penalty points. 240 overall. Ukrainians still in contention. Fifth after the fencing, fourth in the swimming. The bell to themselves underway. Enters the arena. Chosen by compatriots Dmitry Polyansky. Very good ride. They'll certainly be in contention for a podium spot. Used to the horse. It's underway. So Baklova. Of course, here's the first hurdle. Second at last year's European Championships. Patriot Buriak, who won this women's individual event here. She was third here. First knockdown for Baklova. Second in quick succession. Over to Polyansky and a refusal straight away. Really struggling to get control of the horse. Really going to plan at the moment for Ukraine. Some time penalties as well. 2 knockdowns in a row. Charges into the fence. Polyansky having real trouble getting control of his horse. Shows how the riding can change the state of the competition. Disappointments for the Ukrainians. A good bet to try and get a podium finish to complete what would have been an excellent World Cup event for them, but a third refusal for Polyansky, who's then finished the riding with 0 points. It's knocked them out of contention. They're also having a lot of problems on the riding course. So finishing with 0 points. The respondent Polyansky has a conversation with his coach. So next up to go are China. So into the last 3 teams. Parents watching on. Bian, Jihao Han. A lot of Chinese competitors competing in the individual events. Pentathlon growing in popularity in the country. Young, talented competitors. The third refusal for Polyansky. And Ukraine's hopes at these championships of picking up a third medal. Well, the Chinese duo, they were 8th off the fencing with a 28 record, 28 wins and 28 defeats for them. A really good swim for Bian and Han. Time of just under 1 minute and 56 seconds. First place. Back to third in the standings. Bian competed in Palm Springs, 16th overall in the individual. Very active this season. 17th in Rio de Janeiro last month. Underway, as the bell goes. Some clearance for Bian. She's competed in the mixed events this season. Excellent ride so far. Bian. Chance of going clear. She hands over to her partner, Yihao Han. Into speed, into the approaches. First knockdown for the Chinese duo. A really good ride so far. Section to go. Really good ride by Bian and Yihao Han. That's the one knockdown. 2 penalty points overall. They're going to be still very much in contention. The Hungarians and the Russians to go. So we stand there 48 seconds behind the leaders, but anything can happen in the riding. The only knockdown by Yihao Han, just a bit too close to the fence. Leaving himself enough room to get over the hurdle. So they can be very happy with their performance. One of the Chinese athletes, very inexperienced, so I think it's a learning curve for a lot of them. Haven't had a lot of experience on the big stage. Hungarians to go next. They won the mixed event in Palm Springs. Marashi on that side. And it was Marashi who go on to win the men's individual event in Rio de Janeiro. He's given this World Cup event in Chengdu a miss. Christina Chesh and Gergely Demeter compete. Demeter. Demeter. Excellent position going into the riding in the men's individual event, but finished 33rd overall in the riding. Just 124 points, which pretty much ended his hopes of getting a podium or even a top 10 finish. Done really well. Second in the fencing and 8th in the swimming. Chesh is underway. Competed in Rio de Janeiro, the second World Cup event this season. 20th overall. 13th in the women's individual events. Good ride for her so far. So it's knocked down. So her partner, really Demeter. Young competitor. Refusal there. Hungarians currently dropping to third behind the Chinese. Another refusal. Regularly Demeter. First season on the senior tour. Fourth of the World Junior Championships in Poland last year. Generation of Hungarian modern pentathletes.
Score report. Team Hungary. Time penalties 22. Obstacle penalties 120. Riding points.
Hungarians complete their ride. Picked up a few time penalties as well, which won't help their cause. Demeter having quite a few problems on the course. Looking too confident. No problems controlling the horse. So, the final pair. Lisa Rudinova and Sergei Karyakin. They going into the riding. First place finish in the fencing, third in the swimming.
Kim Rusher, Alice, and Sergey.
Get us underway. A new generation of Russian modern pentathletes, Fakhrudinova, second at the World Juniors. Refusal straight away for Fakhrudinova. Stopped. Fences reset, just and get control of a horse, still having a few problems. Time at the moment, still having problems. Fakhrudinova really be playing into the hands of the Chinese. Only picked up 40 penalty points. Fakhrudinova only getting going, stopping almost before the fence. Still having problems. already. Splitting the fence. Over the second. Third refusal. Finally getting around the course and comes over to Sergei Karyakin. Himself had a lot of problems in the riding in the men's individual event. He's moving up into first place, and he could well move up into first place. So even if Karyakin does go clear, to pick up full-time penalties while China actually moved into first place after that refusal. Another knockdown. It's an important thing though for Russia just to finish the course. Very confident going into the combined. They finally do get around the course. 240 penalty points. Two-time penalties as well. Sakharudinova really having a lot of problems early on. Just getting control of the horse. Difficult for her, not that experienced. So, China moving into the lead after an excellent riding from Yu Fei Bian and Ji Hao Han. Belarus into second. Anna Vasilyonak and Roman Pinchuk. Sakharudinova and Karyakin dropping down to third. So they still remain very much in contention, just 16 seconds behind the Chinese. Hungarians also fancy their chances as well. Not having the best of rides. Really bit of disappointment for the Ukrainians. Irina Khokhlova and Dmitry Polyansky picking up no points on the riding. Refusals for Polyansky. Still very much to play for. welcome to Chengdu, Sichuan province of China, the third round of the 2013 Modern Pentathlon World Cup Series.
Ребята, отжимайте, когда хотите слышать нас. Да-да-да. Отвечаем.
German pairing of Janine Coleman and Alexander Nobis. Fencing result for them. Third overall with 34 wins and 22 defeats. Coleman competed in the women's individual event. 14th place overall. Took part in Palm Springs in the individual. 18th. Took part in the relay in Palm Springs. Germans would come home in 8th. Here the Hungarians. Kristina Cech and Yegle Demeter. Always very good in the fencing. These two are a new generation of Hungarian athletes. More established generation. So Adam Morrissey, not competing here, though he won the individual event in Rio de Janeiro last time out. Also helped Hungary to win the team event in Palm Springs. World Cup leg of the 2013 Modern Pentathlon season. Plenty of smiles all around for the Hungarians. A lot of smiles for the Ukrainians. World Cup event they're having here in Chengdu. Uriak winning the women's individual event, her first ever career victory. Conversation with Sergei Karyakin, the Russian. Also Dmitry Timoshenko winning the men's event. Back of Victoria Tidashuk's victory in Palm Springs. Pavlova and Dmitry Polyansky competing for them in the team events. Polyansky slightly disappointing in the men's individual. Riding where he only finished in 28th position overall, which left him far too much to do in the combined. Two experienced athletes for Ukraine. It's Belarus duo of Anna Vasilyonak and Roman Pinchuk. Fourth overall in the fencing with 34 victories and 22 defeats. Well in contention. Vasilyonak getting a few instructions from her coach. First World Cup event of the 2013 season, took part in the individual events, but could only finish in 17th place. Chuk managed to get out of qualification in the men's individual event. Here the leaders after fencing is Rudinova and Sergei Karyakin. Rudinova was 7th in the individual event. Karyakin was actually leading going into the riding, but suffered badly. Took a number of penalty points. Only with a score of 920. After far too much to do on the mines, where he suffered at the shooting range. Need for a podium spot, but the Russian's going well. 40 wins and 16 defeats. First place. Into swimming. Just confirmation of the results. Russians on top. Followed by Hungarians, Germany, Belarus, and Ukraine. The top 5. From the fencing to the swimming. Get the action up with the top heat. Chinese there as well, and the Hungarians. The Russian duo of Alisa Bakrudinova and Sergei Karyakin to build on their promising starts. Irish also competing. Tony Coyle and Ilona Bailey. Second place finish in the team events in Palm Springs. The victory would go to the Chinese duo of Fei Bian and Jiahao Han. Han won a silver at the Asian Championships. First place for Koreans. Coming to second place with Russia in third.
Yeah, I'm very happy for results, fencing and swimming, because yesterday I have individual final competition, but main event coming up.
So just confirmation of results after the first 2 events. Russia in first place, looking a big lead over their nearest rivals. Hungary, some 32 seconds back by China. Chinese athletes competing their home leg. It was then on to the riding. It's always pivotal. Team's hopes. Unpredictable event in modern pentathlon. The action up with the Ukrainian duo of Irina Haklova and Dmitry Kiporlansky. A little earlier, Ukraine having a fantastic World Cup event, double individual events. Buryak winning her first ever World Cup event in the women's individual. Timoshenko in the men's event. So Ukraine looking for a golden hat-trick here in Chengdu. Bit off the pace, but still anything can happen. In the combines, looking for a solid ride. Them in contention. Zarina Pavlova. Ukrainians underway. Both these athletes are experienced. Pavlova finished second at the European Championships last year in Sofia. She's ahead of her compatriots, Anna Buriak, who was third. Buriak not competing in the next event. Pavlova's also competed in 2 World Cup events individually this season. 20th in Palm Springs and 9th in Rio de Janeiro. This season she's competed in the team event. Pavlova also reached the final of the London Olympics. Came home 10th. Of course, won by Laura Askaitia, Lithuania. Pavlova to get us underway. There goes. Start a ride over the first fence. Riding 38 seconds behind the leaders. Start by Pavlova. Long way to go. Just clips that rail. So first knockdown for Ukraine, 2 in a row. Staying on. Pavlova hands over to Polyansky, and not a great start for Ukrainian. There's a refusal at the very first fence. He's struggling to get control of his horse. First fence. A lot of trouble here. Polyansky and straight into the fence. That's the end of Ukraine's hopes really in this team event. 0 points for them, 3 refusals for Polyansky. Send them right down to the bottom of the standings. Brits Kate French and Sam Curry also having a lot of problems on the riding event as they saw their hopes evaporate. They also had 3 refusals. Right down in 14th place. Disappointment for them. These things happen. Just having a few words with his coach. Back to Palm Springs. Frolov encountered exactly the same problems. Russia's hopes battling it out with Hungary for the gold medal. Chance for China. Generally rode very well in the individual events, the Chinese. Bian and Yahao Han going for them. To get us underway. Never really looked confident in control of his horse. Polyansky, and that's where it all started. Well, that's when it ended. Ukraine's putting up a 3rd medal at this World Cup. Events evaporated, but nevertheless, the World Cup event they can be very proud of after the individual victories for Anna Buriak and Dmitry Timoshenko. Bian 16th in Palm Springs, 17th in Rio de Janeiro, and 18th, but only in qualification here in Chengdu. Been competing for a long time, really. Fabian. 26 for the World Juniors in the individual. 2011 also took part of a team event. 6th. So the bell goes. Yeah, I'm getting this underway. Effective height and distance ahead of the fence. Good clearance. Confident so far. China have been well represented in this World World Cup events. Competitors in both the men's and women's events. So really good ride by Fabian. No knockdown so far. She hands over to Ji Hao Han. She's doing really well for the Chinese, not experiencing some problems with their rivals from Ukraine during their ride. Slips a rail, disappointment for the Chinese, but just one knockdown so far. Excellent ride. Section to go. And an excellent ride by Yu Fabian and Ji Hao Han. Just for 40 penalty points. The Chinese really are now in contention going into the combined. Just Hungary and Russia to go. It might be 48 seconds back at the moment. Expect that to come down. Excellent performance. Got one knockdown overall by Ji Hao Han. 24th at last year's World Championships in Rome. It's the only blemish on his ride. Flipping the rails. Did well to recover there. Stutter into the fence. Took part in Palm Springs, or his 19th. Disappointment for him though in Rio de Janeiro. He could only finish in 31st place. Did manage to qualify for the individual event here in Chengdu. 27th overall in his qualification group. That's a turn of Hungary. Chesh and Gregli Demeter. Demeter competed in the individual events in the men's. Dense. He's going very well going into the riding, but pretty much a nightmare on the course. Dense Demeter. 33rd overall with only 824 points, which pretty much hindered his hopes of getting a podium or even a top 10 finish for the men's individual. Chesh to get us underway. He's 13th overall in the women's individual event. conversation with teammates. We're looking to try and put a bit more pressure on the Russians. Confident blemish-free round. Not down so far. Good ride by Chesh. This final section, that's the first knockdown though. It's clear on the final fence as she hands over to Demeter. Clearance. Clips the railing, but it stays on. A little bit of free refusal there. It's going to cost them a bit of time. So far, so we pick up a few time penalties. Second refusal. It's really costing the Hungarians. Section to go. Hungary finally finishing their round. 120 penalty points plus some time penalties as well. Grigori Demeter not getting through qualifying for the individual events. For his first season on the senior tour. He was 25th in the World Juniors last year in Poland. They're dropping behind the Chinese. Demeter had a few problems on the course. Vincent Demeter did the men's individual competition. So just the Russians to go. They're well placed. Fakrudinova finished 7th in the women's individual. And her compatriot Sergei Karyakin was 13th. For Karyakin was actually leading the men's individual going into the riding, but Karyakin suffered a lot of problems. And left himself with far too much to do going into the combined. Karyakin vastly experienced. Rudinova to get us underway. There goes. A refusal straight away. That's a great start for Fakrudinova. A lot of problems with her horse. She's struggling to get control. Not the start she would have wanted. A refusal straight away. Still having problems, Fakrudinova. The Russians really suffered in the mixed event in Palm Springs. And their hopes were ended. Ilya Frolov on that occasion couldn't get control of his horse. Fakrudinova finally getting underway, but not looking confident at all. Railing. Oh. Real difficulty here for Fakrudinova. well to get round in the end as she hands over to Karyakian. Looking that confident either. I think really for the Russians is to avoid the similar fates that happened to the Ukrainians. Refusal there. Russia fall behind the Chinese now. Knockdown for Karyakian. Russia's really suffering at the moment. Finally gets round. 240 penalty points plus some time penalties as well.
Time penalties 16. Observer penalties 240.
Start well at all. Fakhretdinova having real trouble early on. Get control of her horse. Karyakian, not even the happiest time this year in Chengdu, though he won the World Championships here back in 2010. Fourth last year at the World Cup event. Competed in Rio de Janeiro last time out, where he was fourth overall. As we move to the combined. China. Starting off out in front. The Russians and the Belarusians. Fakhretdinova having a few problems on the shooting range, but she's away. The Koreans, Mina Jeong. Here's the current leader, UIPM of China, being pursued by Anna Vasilyonak. And UIPM beginning to open up a big lead over her rivals. Try and make up some ground. Going well so far. And Coleman there.
Go, okay, go on.
Dinova struggling really to make up some ground. Looks like Jeong in fourth place, Coleman second, with Anna Vasilyonak, the leader so far. Second shoot, 4 laps, 800 meters, 4 shoots. So after the second lap, and over to their male counterparts. Bian and a 15-second lead over Anna Vasilyonak coming into the event. Into the shooting range. Well on the first shoot. A little bit of pressure though. It's been a really good shoot so far from UIPM. Comes away in just under 20 seconds. Young and Dinamo also on the range, and Germany get away with Coleman. Problems for Anna Vasilyonak. Just managing to close the gap slightly. Really, Anna Vasilyonak, chances hampered. 30 seconds on that second shoot. Dropped down to 5th place. Coleman trying to make up ground. This is Mina Young, who's currently in the bronze medal position. Big gap. Fakhrudinova and Vasilyonak. China out in front at the moment. It's the 400-meter mark. So one for her to go. Really getting behind the Chinese athletes. Mina Young closing the gap on Coleman. Vasilyonak's pulling away from Fakhrudinova. Just closing the gap slightly, but sizable advantage at the moment. Beginning to tire. Fabian. A late surge. This is Mina Young. And she hands over to Jiahao Han. He's into the shooting range. Second miss for Chinese athletes. He's away in 15 seconds. Going well. Sergei Kalyakin with plenty of work to do. Belarus, Korea, Germany all trying to make up some ground on the Chinese. Kalyakin again having problems. This is the man they all have to catch, Jiahao Han. Nikola Genald of the USA. There's the chasing pack. The novice of Germany, Roman Pinchuk. And the Korean, Jinhwa Jung. Jinhwa Jung was actually leading the men's individual coming into the combined, but on the shooting range. 16th overall. Japan have now gone past Russia into 5th place. Chuk moves into 2nd. Han Young just dropping off the place slightly. Trying to close the gap. Chuk pursued by Nobis. Final shooting section to go. Very good first shoot. In 15 seconds. And Chuk going very well as well. This could really be a fantastic finish. Chuk gets away. He's closed the gap to around 3 seconds now. Nobis and Jinhua Jung getting away at pretty much the same time. Has Chuk got enough to catch Yihao Han? 4 seconds for gap after the first shoot. Karyakin more problems on the shooting range. And Chuk is really beginning to close. Certainly looks for pressure of the two athletes. Han really looks to be tiring. And Chuk moves into the lead. Instructions from his coach. Alexander Nobis also putting on some pressure. Past the 400-meter mark. Oh, in for a grandstand finish here. And Chuk's opening up the gap. It's around 2 seconds at the moment. Getting bigger all the time. He laps. Polyansky. And it looks as though Roman Chuk is going to record victory as Alexander Nobis goes past the Chinese athlete, Yihao Han. There's going to be no catching Roman Chuk as he takes victory, followed by Alexander Nobis. And Yihao Han completes the podium lineup. A really good run by the Belarusians. Looked to have been out of contention after Anna Vasilyonak suffered on the shooting range, but a really good run and shoot by Chuk, bringing Belarus victory. Well, they were way back in 6th place after the first two events, but a good ride. An excellent combined. Brings their victory. It's a 1-1 for Sergei Karyakin. Back in 7th place for the Russians, the Hungarians in 8th. Decent performance also from the Germans, who come home in 2nd.
Nice, Alter.
Super, geil.
Und die erste Runde bin ich erstmal dahinter geblieben. Ich wusste, die können ja alle nicht laufen.
Ja, ich habe auch gedacht, du taxierst gerade.
There's Alexander Nobis.
Sachen holen.
Und beim Schießen ist auch noch einer.
24th at the European Championships last year. So, just to remind you, Belarus coming home in first, Germany second, China in third, UIPM and Jihao Han leading for a long time. Han just overtaken on the final lap by Roman Pinchuk. Final competitors just coming over the line. Very sweltering conditions, very humid there on the course. Just completing their final laps. A great afternoon for that man, Roman Pinchuk.
Okay. Just say about your feelings after this finish.
We very glad to our victory. And I want to say thank you, supporting group. Okay.
That's it?
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Just a few words there from part of the victorious duo, Anna Vasilyonak, who's coming home in first place. That pretty much concludes the third World Cup event in Chengdu. Victory for Belarus, Germany in second, China third, Korea fourth. Disappointment though for the two powerhouses really of modern pentathlon, Russia and Hungary. Both affected by poor rides with their hopes. So that pretty much brings a conclusion to the third World Cup event of the 2013 Chengdu leg. Hope you've enjoyed all the action from China. That's all from me, your commentator Richard Van Poortvliet. Goodbye for now.